Okay, so this is a quick video of how to get your Excel zip codes to behave for a join in QGIS. So I have a small subset of zip codes, zip code tabulation areas, and here I have a 5-digit text string. I can tell because it has a leading 0. If I wanted to verify what type of field that column is, I could look in properties at the fields, and here I can see that first field is indeed a string. And the problem is that we often have data that in Excel or wherever along the process loses that leading 0. So here I have a bunch of 4-digit zip codes as an example. What I'm going to do is drag that Excel file into QGIS. And let's just take a look at the attribute table. And I can see I have the 4 digits. What I want is a 5-digit column so I can join it to the boundaries. So I'm going to use a virtual layer for that. So I'm going to use a field calculator. And I'm going to create a virtual field. And what this does is it only creates the new field in QGIS. It doesn't actually modify the original Excel file, which is usually the safer thing to do. And I'm going to call this zip text and make sure it's a text type. I don't need to specify the output. It'll just size to whatever it needs. And then there's a bunch of functions in here. This is in the expression editor. So if you haven't seen this before, there's all sorts of functions in the string functions. There's a really useful one called lpad, which means left padding. And the idea is that if you pad hello to 10 characters with an X, it's going to put all those X's until it's 10 characters. So we're going to do that with zeros up to 5 characters. So I'm just going to type this in. Lpad has this nice little tooltip that shows us what comes next. So the next is the string, and that's going to be the value of the zip code of the zip column. So I'm going to put zip in double quotes, so you always use double quotes for column names. The width I want it to be is 5 characters, and the fill is going to be a 0, and I'm putting that in single quotes. So single quotes always refers to a literal text string. And once I put the final parenthesis on there, I get a nice preview down here at the bottom, and here I can see indeed it's added a leading 0. I can also step through some other records just to see how those look. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to click OK. And I can see it here. And now I can use this column, this virtual field, to do the join to the shapefile. So if I were to go to the properties here and go to joins, create the new join, joining things from the test, and I want to make sure that I pick the new zip text so it'll match up. And I'll do all 3. And go ahead and click OK. OK, and now when I look at one of these, I can see that for the zip code was 04652. In my Excel file, I only had 4652, but it still matched because I joined it on this last column. And hopefully that'll work out for you. There's a couple other ways to do this as well, but this is probably the easiest. You don't have to modify your original Excel file, and it just works.